Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another live stream for the engine. Yeah, last stream was Saturday, right? Yeah, because I skipped Sunday because I was kind of exhausted after the lunch. But yeah, let's get going. Actually, one thing I forgot to set up, of course, was the second screen, as usual. But I did that now mostly. And then we can start. Yeah, let's get right on. There is one thing I did yesterday just for testing and verifying my assumptions so that we are good for today, which is basically test the Morton code idea I had manually in C++, to see if that works what I would want to do. So basically I created an octree of depth 4 on the C++ side and then iterated over it depth first, got its Morton index, and then extracted from that Morton index the node position just by knowing the depth, the Morton index, and the root size. And that is a very, very cheap operation, mostly because it's really just extracting out the information from the Morton code and yeah, then calculating the position based on that. That should be fairly straightforward on the GPU as well, hopefully. But what that showed me, there's one thing that I will probably fix before we go back to the GPU, is actually it showed, because that tree is not really used, that octree implementation is currently not used anywhere. So it had a bug. And we will do the fix now and submit that. And basically, how do I actually fix that? So because the issue was here, the shift that is happening. It probably should be U32 like key dimension, maybe. And by default that's 2. Why is that? Okay. I mean, I guess we can do a U8. We will never have more than that anyways. Is key dimension actually kinda... It's based on this, right? Which I'm not sure how we would want to do that. And we could always do as well in the tree depth. Basically if tree T key T is base off, like that, right? Why not is base off? It's this that we want. Then we do 3. That's a thing, right? And 3. Oh, it's key type. Okay. And then otherwise, if it's specialization of modern code 2D, then it's 2. Otherwise, can I somehow throw otherwise? I mean, I guess I could do a requires, right? But that would fix it. Either more than 2D or 3D. Alright, I think that's good enough. If it's just otherwise, I think we could as well fall back to just a 1/5 to the left. Hello, welcome, welcome. Although we need to actually hold on, we could make it actually based on this, right? Could base it on the child count. But is there a way to get that? Oh, whatever. That's fine for now. I think we'll leave it with that. So let's submit that. I will put that as a note that actually probably makes more sense to move it to based on the key type. But whatever. It's anyways not really something we currently... Why is that a change? Don't even know what to change there. Alright, so it's this one that I changed, yeah. Oh yeah, there was a fix as well there. And then that one. Okay, so it's just those three that we can submit. How was your start into the week, Cap Chica? I hope good. Fixed generic tree depth iterator. Taking bit count for key into account. Actually, hold on, there was one other thing. Hello, hello, welcome. Let me open actually Twitch on my second monitor because I just saw that that is a little bit smaller. Hello, Code Warrior. Need to probably make the size a little bit bigger on that little screen in front of me. But yeah, thank you for joining as well. Let's then... There was one other thing I wanted to address before moving on. It's that I broke actually the repository and I didn't actually take care of that since then. So let's see what I broke. Oh, that one. God damn it. Is it all the same? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Nope, not that one. What? Where is my here? Trying to glue together new VK tutorial backgrounds from CPB module spec to C API. That doesn't sound fun. That does not sound like fun. Oops. We can copy that and probably paste that in a couple of places. Is it worth it? Probably it's more worth it if I do something like that. Not sure why I alt tab instinctively. Okay, but that is then actually an easy fix. If that was all that it was complaining about, which I think I remembered I wanted to do before submitting, but then it seems like I just forgot. Alright, let's save all of them. and let's push them. Then hopefully the build should be fine again. Stage. That all? I probably forgot one system, right? It's always happening. But okay, let's go over it, that they are only those changes. Looks fine. All right, let's hope that works. We will check back on the repository in 5 minutes or so. Well, probably a little bit more. And then let's bring that over and let's get started with the volume stuff, which is the extra thing we wanted to do. I think I want to try to make it correct already. So what I mean by that is we go to volume terrain system, which is fine. We create a new system here. Okay, that was interesting. That it, why does it lag so much? Whatever. Volume world chunk or arraign. How do I name that? I am not sure how to name that. Volume word chunk system. Maybe. It's basically a system that is responsible for storing and updating the octree that contains all the chunks that we have. Might be fine. Like that. This might be even better to call it terrain world chunk system. because it's more related to the terrain than actually. I mean, it will be volume based, but let's call it that. I don't know. Better name to be decided in the future. And then let's open that one. Do we still have it open? Oh, we don't. Oh, we have it here. Let's save it. I don't know. Not quite sure what was in there. So better to save it. Volume. Source. Terrain world chunk system, right? What's the name? Terrain world chunk system, yes. Then we have the same here, just with public, a private, and then CPB. And then we can generate that. Oh, is the build going wherever it is? Oh, here. Oh no. Unused function. Don't you dare. Is that really an unused function? Oh, it is. Why did I not use that? Screwball can now use OpenShare for about 2 to 3 days actually. Alright. Let's see when you will swap again. It's like, how many times did you already go back and forth? It's like, it feels like the 20th time. What do I want to do with that get shader extension? I wanted to name... I mean, I think I might still want that actually. For this one right here. Probably. Then we have the shader extension here. I don't know, 50, maybe 100. Crazy. But what is always the thing that like annoys you that you switch back and forth? Shouldn't you at one point be like, they are all shit and I will just settle for one? Okay, Chrono stocks. They are maybe a little bit suboptimal, let's say that. Volume terrain. We have that. I don't think we need that. Not sure. But we probably don't need it here. No, don't do that. I mean, if it stops you from changing, maybe, but please be responsible with your money. Don't need to give anything to me. That goes away. Word terrain, word chunk component. I'm not sure if I would be rich, but I don't want to get rich of somebody. I mean it always works like that, right? So I don't know, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Can't explain it. It's maybe because I didn't do anything for it that it feels wrong. And then probably, do we build a tree here? But for now, let's keep it simple and just have the word chunks octree node here. Which for now it will be empty. But we have the root size. We have the root. And then here that is the octree buffer. And we don't need any of that. We don't need this. Well, actually we have it already here, right? Can have it like that. So that is 32.8. So that's basically the size we want. And I'm not sure if I need anything else. But for the sake of it, it's a U8. We will never have more than that. Depth, which is basically the depth of the tree. Which for this one it will be kind of fixed, so that it kind of doesn't make sense to have it here, but it might make sense to have it for other cases. I don't know yet. And it's fully a dynamic thing. What I mean with that is So we have the factory. And if the volume terrain settings changes, and we have a volume terrain runtime component and the terrain word tree component. Although the runtime, what do I actually store in the runtime then? Oh, that will be interesting, I guess. I mean, I guess we could move that. Wait, where is my... Oh, okay, I see. Well, let's leave it for now. Not quite sure how I want to do that, but let's leave it for now. But then basically here we wouldn't remove this. We would remove it here. Would be the idea. Or we could have a flag as well. So basically I wanted to get rid of the shader. But how would I want to solve that actually? Do I want to store the shaders? I mean, maybe I store the shader in the volume octree thing. That's kind of ugly, or... See, that part I didn't really think through there. I could have the shaders here. But that's really not what components should do. Could I maybe... I mean, the thing is we only have that once, so it wouldn't be too bad. But I'm wondering if we would be able to have like a different possibility. Because technically I think what I could do is in the volume... Don't I have a volume model? Right, that is volume. Do we rename it? Probably. Now is the time. Now it is the time for this one at least. To be renamed. All right. Let's generate that again. Actually, so that we only have to generate it once. We will actually already do the renaming because then the CMake hopefully will pick it up and do it correctly. Okay, what? Why is it dying on me? Is that the correct one? No. I mean, what is happening? Windows in a nutshell. It's insane. What just happened? Insane. Oh, it was already called volume module. Beautiful. So I think if I generate now, that will be the first test for the script, and see if we were actually okay, whatever. Did it update? It did. Oh my god, it worked. And it called it volume model. Man, I did some magic. Oh yeah, I wanted to fix that. I totally forgot about that. Source tree. Because we have it already, I think. So I have source tree here. Shader compiler. So now that is not an unused function anymore. Was that the only thing that failed? Because I thought, okay, no, it's not. Scene frame data. Did I change something there? Not really. Material shader graph. Did I make something there? I mean, maybe. The only question is, what did I change? Okay, that is. But that's a problem or what? Since when? Text render task. Okay. Interesting. Ah, no. Depth render task failed. I don't have anything against static const express. I think it's fine. I mean, not sure why you would do it like that though. Like, why would it be a function and not just a member? But I don't mind. But yeah, I mean, those could be just static const expr you in 32 members, right? Public. Hi. Null pointer assignment to some unique pointer. Reference HPP. But do you think it's in reference? Ah, you already did a pull request, PR again, or what? A new one that I didn't see yet? Because that one I already merged in. So it should be already there. Okay. But I thought I have merged that in. Ah, okay, for comparison you mean, okay. Let me check. So much stuff. Yeah, maybe. I think I changed because it was compiling before, right? So it's definitely something that I changed. Probably here. already here? I mean, here it probably died before that. Because it complained about the type ID. So did it continue then? Type ID, type ID. Then I think it stopped. Yeah. But I would assume it has to have happened somewhere here or in the submit afterwards. So it's in this one or the other one. Which is kinda... bizarre, but okay. I mean, it might be easier to find if I just go through the diff thread. Well, it can... I mean, it could be that, but unlikely. It's the auto-generated stuff. Oh, it could be the order. Hold on, it could be... although it shouldn't matter actually. Okay, no, that order I think is fine. It would probably be easier if I just have Clang already locally as well again. But yeah, it says material shader graph is incomplete in scene frame data. Which, I mean, yes, that's the whole point of it. So in scene frame data we have this. And yeah, then this one basically it says that it's incomplete. Oh wait, I think I know what it is. But did I change that? Because here I include this, but I don't include material shader graph. Because we need that there. That's a bit of an ugly thing though. It's just because of this reference. Wondering if there is a better way to do that. Do we already have types for those? No. So I think that should fix it. Because then in depth pre-pass it is defined. And it was and then text render task as well. So maybe there's other parts as well where it fares, but yeah, it would be here as well. Let's submit those two and see if that fixes it. Otherwise, I mean, I have a different fix in mind. But that might fix it. Missing includes for material shader graph. I mean, probably in the depth part it's actually correct to include it. Because we probably need the material shader graph eventually anyways. Most likely, at least, we need it. In the text render task, we definitely don't need it. And I have an idea how to fix it, but let's see if that actually fixed it first. Alright, that was a sidetrack again, but we will come back to that build again in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. Alright, so we're building good. So we have our terrain world chunk system. And now we go to our volume terrain system. And we basically take part of that, which I think is everything we need. Well, no, we need that as well, and that. We need those. Let's comment that out here. Put that here. And then here we have our auto terrain settings. Terrain world oak tree. And terrain runtime, which we definitely don't really need, but whatever. Isn't it like that? Ah, we need to call get because I didn't add the nice function yet to do that automatically. Alright. This is then this is not that. And then we have this and oak tree GPU buffer like that. That is the world chunk oak tree node, which is wrong that it's size 16. Has to be like that, right? And yeah, then we are the right size. Perfect. And then this is basically that, and we allocate that. And then, because I still didn't figure it out, we will do the shader stuff here. So I don't know. I mean, we could have a namespace here and have shader, effect handle, word chunk, word octree, create shader. I like word octree update shader. Now we get a shader handle. Terrain panel. Basically do that. So we get the update shader. And then we put that into that, and that becomes our, and that was build word chunk octree shader. Yes. I mean, we probably could even just do it like that, right? And at that point, maybe another struct, like a shader creation struct, makes more sense than the way we do it here, but whatever. Let's see, is the build? Yay, it didn't fix it. Or it's another issue. No, it's the same thing. Oh, in a different file. Alright, so we fixed it, but it's just in a different file. How come that was never an issue before? And suddenly it's an issue? I'm confused. Because I didn't change anything on that part in any of those submits. It seems like some weird issue with the order of include. Where could that be? It's not here. It has to be probably. Let me actually want to check. Is it system node graph module? No, it's not that. But it's some stupid include order. I'm pretty sure now. Oh wait, maybe not actually. Maybe it's actually really that. Where is it? This one, because before it probably didn't know that it has to deconstruct it. Is that it? I mean, that was an issue. But now in the scene, yeah, exactly, in the scene frame data, when it destroys it, now it sees that it doesn't know the shader graph. Yes, that is it. So it's this line that actually fixed the destruction of the scene frame data. All right, that makes sense. So then let's fix it properly. So we go to scene frame data. Open the containing folder, go to the private scene. Put the CPP here. Go to the correct module. Go there, generate our file. Not really what I planned today, but what can you do? At least I get some more time to think about how I want to actually solve that with the shaders. So far, not really an idea. Alright, and then static mesh, draw car, and that one. And I think, well, let's just to be sure take that one as well. Then let's get rid of that, include no, not graphics, game core, scene frame data. Then let's implement those in that file. And we can do all three of them like that. That's good enough. And then we just have to include Onyx graphics, shader graph, material shader graph. And I think that should famous last words fix it. So if we go back to depth, that one can get we can get rid of that one. Because we don't actually need that, and then we had it in text render task as well. And we don't need it here. And let's hope my assumption was correct that this fixes it. But usually that's the way to go. Stage that one. And game core. Those plus that. Probably. Let's try. Otherwise I will give up and I will fix it later. Fixed. All right. Enough side tracking. So we get the word up octree update shader, we create our buffer, and we should kick off our shader. So we get a command buffer. Do I need get frame context? How do we do that in the terrain panel? Do I really need to do it this ugly with the frame buffer index? Where is it? What? Terrain panel. Compute command buffer. Where do we get that from? Ah, here. Okay, how will we really do it like that? Can I even get the compute buffer? I mean, that's a graphics buffer, right? Currently, we don't really have a way to... I know we do have a get compute command buffer. We could think about using that one, but for simplicity, let's for now not. And yeah, then we just bind our shader effect. Then we just dispatch, I think. I mean, we need to dispatch a little bit more than just one level, right? Is it like that? Or is it just like that? I think it might be like that. But we need more data, right? The word build word tree thing, it needs a little bit more. It definitely needs the push constant here. Struct update octree push constants. This U64. U64. Okay, so that at least adds up. The node count? Ah, this is okay, yeah. Okay. Alright. That works. Wrong one. Or no, actually correct one. And now we basically build a word oak tree. Or this one. Push constants. Word oak tree is this one. Get GPU address. Then we do a node count, which we have temporary buffers for, which we currently don't really have a concept of. It's something we definitely should write on the list of things to add. So for now, maybe we just have them here. And buffers should be in the graphics API per frame. Node count buffer. And then we have the two queues, right? Creation queue 0 and creation queue 1. And then we have the dispatches as well. Indirect dispatch buffer 0. Let's do it actually like that. And I think, or the indirect dispatch. Oh no, we need to swap it as well, yeah. That makes sense. Is that everything? Where is my shader? So we have the indirect dispatch, we have the node, we have the queues and the tree. Yeah, that should be everything. Okay. So it's basically that. And then we have here, or here, this is our node count buffer. And then create queue. No, what was it? Out create, well, we could call it out create queue. Could as well name it like that. And then we have the indirect dispatch. And then push constants extends is our root size. Cast to static U32. And then we have the depth, which is 0. And then we dispatch that first level, and then for each OU32 depth add 1 and depth less than our terrain word octree depth. We keep dispatching. Oh yeah, the first one we kinda have to do like that, right? Because the first one we don't know how to dispatch different, and then this one goes indirect. Never used that one. Okay, so this one is the push constant indirect dispatch offset 0. Ah, where it's this one. Yeah. So actually let's do buffer handle. And then we have a graphics buffer handle. Current dispatch buffer, current dispatch write buffer. So this is this one. And this one is that one. We write this here, and then at the end of the loop we swap them. We could do it with a model loop probably as well. Yeah, not sure if that's worth it. Buffer handle. Well, we could actually probably just do an STD swap, right? Shouldn't that fix it? And then we swap all of the buffers basically. So we as well. Well, in that case, we can just do those two. And at that point, maybe we do it beforehand. We swap this one with that one. Okay, no, this one we flip first, right? Then we go here and those are flipped. Then we dispatch with this one. Well, actually we can dispatch. Okay, no, we can't. So we have to put the right dispatch here, right? I mean, it is basically this. Let's make it simpler. So we flip those back and forth. So let's do it like that. We flip it, even though that's... no, let's do it after the first one. So here we write push constants. Indirect dispatch is our current dispatch write buffer. Get GPU address. Then we dispatch indirect like that, and then we swap them and we do the same again. And we always increase the depth. By that. That might work. Let's build. How does my build system look like? God damn it. Time to get Clang locally running again. Oh, but that's a different thing, okay. That's a definite different thing. What? Oh, did I submit something by accident? Generate mesh pass. Did it slip in or what? No. Just that it... Generate mesh pass. What are you on about? No member named grid. Oh no. Oh, where? But that is... We fixed the compiler or the read one. Huh. You should still have the grid, but okay. Oh no, you don't, because... God damn it. Mistakes were made. Because in here I, of course... remove them. Well, I will fix it after the stream. Probably revert those two. Well, actually 3, because we have this one as well, which is wrong. That's what happens when you submit something too fast. Oh, well. Alright, let's do that. But as well, if our depth is at 0, then we don't need to do a whole lot. Because we don't need to do any of this part here. Well, actually, yeah, we don't need to look at the create queue. That's basically. Probably we do something like that. Something like that, but we need the node center position, stuff like that we need outside. Okay. And then child half extends. It extends shifted by depth. Right, that's at least I think what I had here. Is root, well, okay, it's this basically. Which can, no, it's not the same, okay. That was actually, oh, okay, it's not. I wonder why actually, maybe it would make sense to do that as a float. And then this one is as well a float. We could have that potentially sent already correctly by the CPU actually. Because then we calculate it only once and not a million times. That might actually make sense. And then let's do the depth mask as well. And then I think I have everything I need, right? So I need the Morton code. I need the depth mask, which is this one. Okay, no, I still need the root as well. Which is unfortunate because don't have space for that. I mean, we do. Let's send it like that. Now we can basically just say this is our position, right? But here it's actually cheap because we don't need to do anything. And then here we need to do it a little bit more expensive. So that's U constants, node extends. And that is U constants root. Ah, half extends. Do we then sync half? Yeah. For now, let's do that. If we need the full extends, we can do that. Okay, we can get rid of that. Oh yeah, where the child half extends is our node extends by half, right? That one is kind of easy to calculate. For now, we fully subdivide, we don't care. Now we need to do the decode here. But not like that, we need to do this truncation first. So we do a U and Morton index for at depth. And that is basically this, and by U constants depth mask. Which then makes me think, do we even need that? Because can't I just write in already the... Can't I already write in the size? That might be actually not so needed. But let's keep it. It works on the CPU, so let's keep it. We can look at that. And then this is node center position. Can actually do plus 0.5 F. Let's return a vec3. No. And then why do we do it like that actually? Can't I do coordinate times u constants dot node extends minus vec3 of u constants root half extends? But that should do the same thing. And it's a little bit easier to read. All right. So if we are at depth 0, we skip all of that. We are just at 0, 0, 0. And we skip the create queue because it's invalid at that point to read from that. And then, yeah, we would split our node basically. And if we have a valid mask, we put our child offset in there and our Morton index in there. Which again, I think I have to restructure. Well, for this case, actually, why is it night already? I swear yesterday it was day at this time. Yeah, can happen. I mean, in Spain it's quite long, bright outside, but not sure. Maybe you get a thunderstorm. Yeah, but maybe at that time it was already dark. I can't remember anymore. Alright. I think for this case it's fine to have only 32-bit indices here. But it's basically our Morton index shifted by 3. Now we have that basically here. Like that. So basically that is our key. And then we add one like 0 to 7 based on the child. And we shift it into the U64. And then we have a child offset there as well. Which I'm not sure if we need actually. Can't I get that from the Morton? Now that I think about it. I should be able to, actually. Hold on. Then I don't think I have to change anything. Oh no, wait, that's not the offset within the node, that's the offset into this array. Which, hold on, wouldn't it make more sense to just write a 1 here instead of 8? So we reserve 8. hold on, let me think again. So if we dispatch we come in here with the root. The root checks its 8 children. Creates nodes for all of them. Or do we need to create nodes for all of them? Not necessarily, actually, right? Could have a U and valid children count. And then based on that, we do that. At that point, why am I doing that? Why am I not directly doing that? With I here. And I here. And this is the shifted Morton here. Ah, because I don't know how many I need to... I don't know how many I need to reserve, that's why. So I reserve that many and then I basically go through all of them again, check if they are valid. Then we do a create. Does that make sense? In that case, we only allocate the nodes we actually need. The other ones are empty. That will be a little bit of a problem if we ever need to rebuild a tree, but for now I think we just don't care about that. And then this is indirect dispatch. We seal that plus the valid children count divided by the local size, yes. That should be fine. Maybe a barrier makes sense here, actually, at the end. For that. And I think maybe only the last one can do that. Because that way all of them have finished with this. So the children offset are fully populated for that wave. And then the first one is basically the one that increments it. On that. Maybe. I'm not sure. We will find out if that horribly fails. This part might actually horribly fail. Do I have everything? Maybe. I mean, it probably has 50 compile errors as usual. And let's actually have the... Oh yeah, we have the sample here. Node center position minus child half extents is of course wrong. Because that needs to change depending on that eye, which we don't really have. Do I care for that for now? I mean, probably I should. So let's do... If I... Beautiful. Okay, actually I have no idea in which direction I have to shift them, so there's that. Could do actually this calculation maybe. So if it's 0, then we are at 0.5 times that. Then otherwise we're at 1.5. That might actually work. So it would basically be not that, but it would, I mean, it would probably just be that, right? And then we decode it. No, that's garbage. Never mind. It's probably easier to do it manually. But yeah, I think I will call it actually a day for today after that. Because we will not be able to test it anyways today anymore. But tomorrow we will start it and see how many compile errors we have. And the good thing, as I already said on Saturday, is once that octree generates, the other one doesn't come for free, but almost. For the other one, we need to change the queue though. Because in this one, we only fit 10 levels of octree, which is not ideal. So we need to change that. But yeah, I'm a bit tired now already. So we will finish that position calculation for the children tomorrow. It is really just figuring out which child we are, and then depending on that, adding or subtracting X, Y, and Z. But maybe we use the Morton for it. Although that is probably more expensive than the if. Or like we don't even need an if, we could break this loop up. Maybe that's even better. Maybe we don't do a loop and we just do all 8 children manually here. Maybe we do that. All right. Thank you very much for joining as usual. We will be back tomorrow. There will be no stream on Friday, but I will shout it out tomorrow anyways as well, because I have plans in the evening, but Saturday and Sunday this week will be something because I have no plans on Sunday. And yeah, so the streaming schedule, I will try to be a little bit more responsible and actually follow the stream schedule more, because lately I kind of slipped a little bit on that. which is not optimal. Alright. Long story short, we will see each other again tomorrow and more consistently. Yeah, have a great rest of your evening, and I hope you have a great day tomorrow, and hopefully I see some of you tomorrow again. Bye bye.